Hi, it's Caitlin and I'm here with Halloween nail polishes in June. So the reason for that is Kathleen Co is debuting this Halloween set of polishes at Polish and Beauty Expo in Chicago in July, and her theme is Halloween, Tim Burton, which is an amazing theme, and they're incredibly gorgeous polishes. So as I mentioned, they will be available at Polish and Beauty Expo in person in July if you can make it to that event. I won't be there, but I think a few of you will. If you're going, have an amazing time. And if you're not going, you will be able to pick these up on the Kathleen Co website in August, as well as at any stockist that usually carry Kathleen Co. Those details are TBD, but if and when I get them, I will include that in a pinned comment in this video. But you can also follow Kathleen Co on Instagram and you'll get updates about the availability of this collection on that page. Let's just get into the polishes. I wanted to quickly show the boxes that these polishes come in. I think it's just so cute and Halloweeny, and I love some skulls and bones. And this first beautiful polish that you see is called If They Only Knew the You That We Know, and this is part of the Corpse Bride portion of the collection, and this one is so beautiful. It's a light purple base with fiery red shimmer. So this does start out sheer, but it has a fantastic formula. It's really easy to work with. Most of these polishes are best when built up in 3 coats, which is how you will see me applying them. And the shimmer in this polish is phenomenal. I'm going to do my best to show it off, but it has a very glowy finish to it, and yeah, I am just in love with the color and the finish of this polish. It does dry pretty shiny, but glossy top coat such as Cuticula Limitless, which is what I pretty much always use in my swatch videos, it just enhances the glow and makes everything look so beautiful. This one is called You Kept Your Promise, You Set Me Free. And if you couldn't already tell, it is a magnetic. This one is based on the scene in the movie where Emily turns into a bunch of butterflies and then flies up to the moonlit sky. So this is Mia's favorite scene, and she finds it so moving. It's a pale blue to purple aurora base with a silver magnetic component, and I'm going to try to show it magnetized and unmagnetized, but it works both ways absolutely beautifully. And gosh, yeah, I really just like this one. I love the hollow in it. The hollow is very prismatic and rainbowy, which I don't know, that's what I want and expect when I have holographic elements in nail polish. So it does cover really well in 2 coats, especially if you're planning on not magnetizing it, but I've left it in 2 coats. My index finger ended up sort of unintentionally velvetized, and then my middle finger I was trying to go for a stripe, but I didn't hold the magnet over it long enough. But you're gonna see here the beautiful kind of, I don't know what the magnetic effect is. It gives it just a really 3D quality to it. So I also did the sort of velvet effect on my ring finger, so you can just see that you can wear this a variety of different ways and it looks beautiful any way you slice it. This one is called I Spent So Long in the Darkness. It's the last one in the Corpse Bride set. It's a very deep purple with glowy purple to red shifting shimmer. And I love a polish like this. I love deep purples, and this one has an absolutely gorgeous finish when you build it up. I'm just sort of capping my tips if you couldn't tell, but that's always a good practice. If you work in thicker coats, you might get this one opaque in 2 coats, as you can see on my index finger. But if you do thinner coats, you'll probably need 3. But it builds up quickly, dries quickly in between coats, and it's just a dream to work with. Again, this does dry very shiny, but top coat just makes it look even more beautiful. And here you're going to see that this one does have some shifts to it, but overall it's just a super glowy purple. You get the shifts at extreme angles, but it's just so beautiful and luminous and glowy. And now we're going to look at these Beetlejuice inspired polishes, which I'm a little biased because Beetlejuice is definitely, I think, my favorite Tim Burton film. I think. Anyway, this polish is called Ghost with the Most, and this one is a light gray Crelly with glowy blue shimmer. I really love what Kathleen Co does with their sort of like gray neutral polishes. I mean, neutral makes it sound as if it's boring, but they just always create these gorgeous glowy, shifty polishes with sort of more subdued bases like browns and gray. And this one is just absolutely gorgeous. It has a fantastic formula. It builds up beautifully in 3 coats. You will also probably notice that these polishes all have like the most beautiful finely milled shimmer, and I really love that about the ingredients that Kathleen Co uses. I just think this is a fantastic brand. So I've said that before. If you are curious about the brand, definitely go and check out my other videos featuring Kathleen Co polishes because they've got really good stuff. Here we have Never Trust the Living. And this is a teal crelly with glowy blue shimmer. I think it's the same kind of shimmer we just saw in the previous polish, but this is a totally different base color, which means a totally different overall look and effect to this polish. Again, these formulas are all pretty much the same. You could definitely get away with these in 2 coats if you wanted, especially this polish, but it's a little more intense when you build it up in 3 coats. However, it's very even in 2. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but it's my time in the video to talk about how much I love the Kathleen Co brush and cap. I just find it to be the perfect density of bristles, the perfect width. It's not a huge wide paddle brush. It gives you excellent control when you're applying the polish, and the cap is rubberized, which makes it very easy to hold on to. As you can see, once you add top coat, it just completes the look beautifully, and this is honestly a super glowy blue shade. It's just really, really pretty. This shimmer kind of complements the base color, so again, very glowy, not overly dramatic with a different rainbow of shifts, but really well integrated and very glowy. Here we have It's Showtime, and this one is a violet blue base loaded with glowy blue shimmer. So the Beetlejuice collection is very heavy on the glowy blue shimmer, which is not a bad thing. I definitely like it personally. And this one is so pretty. I do love this sort of indigo ultraviolet purple. It does look a little more blue when you build it up, as you're going to see, but I am very into the shade, and Beetlejuice sort of has like a purple pallor to his skin, I guess. So I just feel like this is a good one for our friend Beetlejuice. Have I said it 3 times yet? Once again, you can see that this would be okay in 2 coats, but when you build it up to that 3rd coat, it just looks even more rich and beautiful. And again, this one is so glowy. I really, really love this polish. And last but not least, for this Beetlejuice set of polishes, we have Handbook for the recently deceased. And I love that this was chosen for the name of one of the polishes. This is a deep red base with aqua to purple shimmer. And I mean, that description and what my eyes are seeing, I'm not seeing red, but definitely a magenta base. And maybe that's just the way the shimmer interacts with the red, I don't know. But this is not a red polish at all. It's definitely magenta pink. And what you're seeing is color accurate to what is in the bottle, what I got on my nails. And yes, I absolutely love this color. I'm a sucker for shades like this. They will never get old. This formula is phenomenal. And that coupled with the name and the inspiration, I just love it. Now we are moving on to the Nightmare Before Christmas quad of polishes. And first up we have Hail to the Pumpkin King, which is a glowy reddish orange jelly loaded with fiery red shimmer. Now, orange is a color that I don't think gets enough love in the indie nail community, but whenever one of my favorite brands creates an orange, I am always so overjoyed because it's usually stunning and super glowy, just like this polish. I love this particular shade of orange. It's very rich and deep and elegant. And again, phenomenal formula. It applies like satin on the nails and the glow is unreal. This definitely looks best in 3 coats. And for anyone curious, Kathleen Co 2 years ago did a Only Murders in the Building collection, and there was a glowy orange in that set. So I have done a comparison between the two and am happy to report that they are quite different. But if you missed the Only Murders in the Building orange, this could be a good, like, satisfactory polish to put in your collection if you missed it. So Hey, I'm Mabel from the Only Murders in the Building collection is on my index, and Hail to the Pumpkin King is on my middle finger. Pumpkin King is definitely darker, but they're both super fiery and rich. We are now going to take a look at This Is Halloween, and that's a violet base with large particle multichrome shimmer that shift green to aqua to purple. I don't know if I had like confirmation bias with this one, but as soon as I saw it like in the bottle, I just knew I was going to love it, and then proceeded to love it once I put it on my nails. I love a deep multichrome, and this one is very, very shifty. This does build up really nicely in 2 coats, but again, looks better in 3 just because it adds that depth of color and deepens everything to this gorgeous kind of night sky look. It does dry very shiny, but again, just put top coat on it. I don't need to explain why, just do it. And I am very excited for you to see this one because it is extremely shifty and like just so pretty. Next up is Electric Lights on Strings, and this is a deep violet base with blue to purple shimmer and fuchsia holographic micro glitters. This one is a gorgeous glittery, I don't know what I was going to say actually, but it's so pretty and I love the glitters in here. They capture the light beautifully and by some small miracle are not overly textured. So if you're usually shying away from glitters because you don't want to deal with gritty texture or like 2 layers of top coat or removal, I am happy to report that this one smooths out with 1 layer of top coat, and honestly, it wasn't much more difficult to remove than like a shimmer with flakes. So this is stunning in 2 coats. I was really happy with the coverage, and you can probably already see what I mean about those glitters. They capture the light beautifully, and I love the contrast between the purple base and the little glitter elements. And last but certainly not least, we have Lovely Sally, and this is a thermal. It's a light blue to white thermal loaded with ultra chrome chameleon flakes and a light dusting of fuchsia pink shimmer. So if you've seen A Nightmare Before Christmas, you probably remember Sally, and this one just perfectly captures her. I knew who it was even before I checked the bottom of the label when I got this package. It's just perfect. And I love the flakes in here. The thermal effect is actually very subtle, which I think works well with the inspiration. And I love the flakes. I think I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. This one is best in 3 coats, and the layers dry quickly between each coat. It's a great formula. It does definitely benefit from top coat just between the flakes and the thermal pigment. Definitely use a top coat. It won't be difficult to remove. And yeah, I just really love this polish. So this is it when my fingers were cold. It was pretty cold with the air conditioning. And this is it after I've warmed my fingers up with a hot hair dryer. So I have a lot of favorites. In no particular order. I really like If They Only Knew the You That We Know. It's like a bit of a tongue twister. That one is so glowy and pretty, and has a fantastic formula. All of these have a fantastic formula, but I just love the color combination of the base and the shimmer. It's just perfection. And apparently I didn't realize it, but my other three favorites are all from the Nightmare Before Christmas set of polishes. And This Is Halloween is like an incredible multi-chrome. I just love it. It's so shifty. I love dark colors, but this is just so bright and dark at the same time. And then Electric Lights on Strings is just what I always crave. I always crave glitter, and the glitter in this is really, really, really luminous and sparkly and beautiful. It suspends gorgeously in that purple base, and I just want to wear it all the time. And then lastly, I have to say that I love Lovely Sally because it looks so much like her. I think it's like a perfect representation of that character. And I remember I'm pretty sure I was like in grade 9 and was like obsessed with, I don't know, is it called like Sally's Song? I don't know. She sings the song in the movie, and I had it on like an MP3 player, and I would listen to it all the time, and I thought she was like so cool. I guess that's it for this video. Let me know what you think of these polishes in the comments. I apologize if you're gonna have to wait quite a while to get your hands on these, because not everyone's going to Polish Beauty Expo, but keep an eye out for a date for when these will be available online. You can also join the Kathleen Co Facebook group. I will try to remember to include that down in the description, but that's also where you'll get like information on upcoming releases. So that's it for me. And I hope you have a great day wherever you are.